good evening, and welcome back to another episode number 7 of Hoopertry in Motion.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy 26, happy 2026, everyone. So we got the crew here. We got Armani, aka 71 and 11. We got Ernest, and you got myself, aka we sweeping those banners for this season. Um, Today's episode, we're going to discuss the trade that just went down not too long ago between the Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks. Um, After 7 seasons with the Hawks, Trae Young has been traded to the Washington Wizards for Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum. The Wizards, and the question will be, will the Wizards extend Trae Young's contract? Well, they give him an extension because the reason why he got traded was because back over the offseason, Trae Young was not offered an extension from the Hawks, in which
Mind you,
ultimately,
no picks were in this deal, by the way.
that's right, no picks were in the deal. So, which in terms that told us that he was on the clock, and hence January 7th, we got a trade. Actually, the first big trade of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the first trade of the season.
Yes. Okay. So now with this trade, give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this trade? Also, we're gonna discuss Oklahoma City Thunder after a 24-1 start. They've been stumbling. They're 500 since the NBA Cup. They're 6-6. Last night they got beat up by the Charlotte Hornets by 30. Is it a concern, or is it just a blip on the trend? Just a blip. We'll discuss that. We're gonna also discuss um what other trades might be going down as we flip the calendar to 2026, and which means we are not that far from the trade deadline, which is in February. So weeks are flying by, games are going by, and then next thing you know, we're at trade deadline, All-Star break. So the season just keep on going and going. So what are your thoughts? What are your reactions to this trade, and which team benefits it, or
I
is there any winners
actually,
and losers?
I think this is like a win-win for both. Obviously, this opens up a massive cap space. Opens up massive cap space for Atlanta, right? And what's crazy is that Washington was projected to have like over $50 million in cap space for this coming summer because CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton will be free agents. And as per the CBA, like you can't just go into the following season with that much cap room. So they needed something to kind of fill up that gap in that cap space. And then you got 46 million coming in and Trae Young, you kind of fill up that cap space instead of trying to just spend it on players and try to make a roster because you have to spend this type of money. So you pair Trae Young with Alex Sarr, who's been playing really well as of late, coming into the zone. They still have Chris Middleton who can give you something serviceable off the bench or if he's starting. I am very surprised at the no pick situation. You would think because the Wizards were taking on that contract and how bad Atlanta wanted to move off of Trae Young, at least a pick would have gone with Trae, or at the very least, because of the return, I think there should have been more picks involved going to Atlanta because Mikal Bridges went for 5 picks. And hell, even the Lakers gave up. And it's Luka. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Luka. Trae Young is not in the same stratosphere as Luka, but they got Anthony Davis, a generational talent, and a first still, and Max Christie, a rotation player. So like the no pick situation is still baffling to me, but I do think it does work out on both sides. Atlanta now has this cap space; they can go out and try to get Anthony Davis, which then they've been reported as a player they coveted to add to their roster. You build around Jalen Johnson, who's been the dude is damn near averaging a triple double. He's averaging 20, 10, and 8. So clearly you have a star who's taller, that can play defense and rebound. So I get it. Trae Young is the undersized guard, but Trae Young is a floor raiser. And we've seen that, throughout his career. So I do think it benefits both sides. I'm just very stunned about the no picks involved. So we'll see what happens and how it turns out. And obviously, this was a money move for Trae Young. I will assume that we will hear a contract extension that was already agreed to, but we're going to hear like a contract extension that's going to be available for Trae Young. And given the fact that Washington is going to have all this cap space in the summer, you just give Trae Young that money, and then you build around Trae Young and the young talent they have in Washington and see what happens from there. And then with Atlanta, you build around Naw, you build around Dyson, you build around obviously the centerpiece is Jalen Johnson, and you still can see what else you have roster-wise. So I mean, we'll see. Atlanta is in a very good spot too because they hold that precious, unprotected first-round pick from New Orleans. So to them, being able to have cap space and that first-round pick, that's a very good position to be in as a team at their level right now. So it's hard for both teams.
I think when you put it in that light, it helps me understand the trade just a lot more. I just remember when we was giving our early season predictions of, like what teams was going to be.
I'm sorry,
really
I was very, very high on it.
No, not just you, not just you. We're not going to let you take the blame on this.
We all was.
Four of us,
we all
me,
was.
you, Eric, and Josh. We was all high on the Atlanta Hawks. We thought the Atlanta Hawks was going to be a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Then Trae Young gets hurt, and Jalen Johnson takes his epic leap, getting triple doubles. I remember there was a insane stat line where he just filled up every category in the box score: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. I can't remember the game, but it was just an insane showing in the performance of just Jalen Johnson. Trae Young comes back, and they lost like what? I could be mistaken, but like 5 games in a row. So something crazy.
7
yeah,
games in a row, something like that.
Something like that. So it was like, all right, he's probably just gelling with the roster. Nickeil Alexander Walker has been having a great season so far. Dyson Daniels has been he's taken a step back, which is really awkward. So it's just been weird. And then especially with the whole trade rumors, the fact that this happened so fast is it's insane. It's crazy because I thought this was going to drag out just like every single trade, just like the Giannis trade. I kept saying I believe it when I see it, and at the end of the day, Giannis is still a Milwaukee Buck. OG Anunoby is still a New York Knick. Cat is still in the Knick uniform. So nothing has happened with that. I get it, all the skepticals and the technicalities around the contracts and stuff. I get that. But the fact that this trade happened so fast is crazy. And Trae Young, when he was choosing his list, the Washington Wizards, who want to go to Washington? Who want to go to Washington? That's like when Joakim Noah was saying, like, I never heard anybody that said they want to go to Cleveland. He said that. Who want to go to Washington?
I mean, yeah, I that's why I said this is like more so a money thing. Like, because I would have loved to see Trae Young in Minnesota.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me.
If there's no other team that needs a point guard, it's Minnesota.
Yeah, for sure.
Anytime there's a good point guard who's like flustered with his organization, we're thinking of where can he land, where will be the best fit at Minnesota. That's the piece they need. And plus you get, if they, let's say they do get him, you said a floor raiser, a playmaker, somebody can hold his own, so that way Ant-Man don't got to sit there and score. You know what I mean? Julius Randle can revert to the third option, which I think he'll play really well in. It was just a missed opportunity. So and also the fact that there was no picks involved with this trade, is just, I don't know, it's just very awkward to me, man. And it's just CJ McCollum's fit with the Atlanta Hawks. Yes, he's a veteran presence, but he's known for disappearing in the playoffs.
I can see a world. Well, the thing is, getting CJ, it's all about the contract. It's not about CJ the player.
No, right.
Can I see a buyout? Possibly, maybe you can, or they can turn around and flip him, right? And a contender can use CJ McCollum, right? That just needs a pungent, prolific scorer, possibly, at this point coming off the bench for a contending team. But they did that. They did this whole move. This was strictly contract based. You can tell by the return in the trade. Like Corey Crispin that's a really good player. Very reminiscent of like Denny Advia when he played in Washington, and like you saw spurts of like, oh, this guy has some talent, and then like you kind of see him on his own in Portland, and you're like, whoa, now he's a top 10 All-Star?
You look at him like higher than KD.
Yeah, and Braun. So and Steph.
This is 2026, y'all.
Yeah. So you never know what Corey could actually turn into, but again, this was a strictly cap move for both teams. One team was trying to get off the cap space so they could build around their new young player, and then you had another team who had all this cap space because they had veterans that they weren't trying to pay, obviously, because they're trying to go get younger and get better in the draft. You needed some cap. You need someone to fill that gap without spending excess money on players you necessarily don't need to kind of fill up the roster. So I see the why into this deal. It's just when you look at Trae Young's production, like if you looked at his stats and his career, you're like, that's all he went for,
right?
So
you got guys out here going for 4 picks. The trade market is all messed up right now.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we'll see what happens. Like, what's the after effect about this now? Like, what's the fallout?
Bro, I just see something on Bleach. They said that he got traded mid-game.
Yeah, mid-game. Yeah,
mid-game.
Yo. That's like some Harrison Barnes shit. Yo. Wow.
So yeah, like
for the viewers watching at home, I already had the episode loaded. You know what I mean? We was going to talk about some of the trade destinations that some of the teams that Trae Young was going to go to, and then I had to change the whole title, the whole thumbnail, everything. You know what I mean?
Well, remember I texted y'all before. This is early afternoon. I said Trae's going to the Wizards.
Yeah.
I said, and then like an hour later, Shams drops they're in the final stage talks or whatever. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna happen. If it wasn't gonna happen tonight, it definitely was gonna happen tomorrow, like for sure. But I mean, like it's the Wizards, this is the Hawks. They're not contending right now, so we'll see what comes out of it. And
AD's on their list next.
Yeah. So we might as well just go into
trade rumors,
the speculation of all the trade rumors happening. Yep. Anthony Davis possibly going to Atlanta. I don't know. Like for Dallas, think about this. If you're a Dallas fan, you're gonna say, "Yo, we traded Luka Doncic for Kristaps Porzingis and Luke Kennard." Like what? We already had Kristaps Porzingis.
Zachary Shea, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the Hawks are very steadfast on not including Zachary into any trade.
Pretty much, you're not getting anybody of Anthony Davis's caliber.
Yeah, basically. Make it enough. That's what they tell me.
Yeah. So look, Maverick fans, the crash out
is valid.
It was valid. Straight up valid.
It's valid.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait. We traded for a player that we already had that was disgruntled here, that we let walk. No, they actually traded him for Daniel Gafford. I remember they traded him for Daniel Gafford.
Yep.
To trade for him again for the superstar that we had that he was disgruntled with. Like, that's just, but Anthony Davis, I think Dallas, personally, I think Dallas should wait. Because what doesn't make sense to me is that you want to hold on to Kyrie Irving because you know the vision is you want to see Kyrie and Cooper Flag together because you think that could be a good tandem. But also you're saying we want to focus on the Cooper Flag timeline. Mm-hmm. But you also want to trade Anthony Davis. But Kyrie Irving's more on Anthony Davis's timeline than Cooper Flag's timeline.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And you can't take it from a Lakers fan. I'm sure you can take it from a Warriors fan. Can't try to rebuild and also try to contend at the same time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work. Trust me. It doesn't work and it sucks. Okay? It does not work. So, like, they have to figure out. I think personally they should just like stand, not necessarily stand pat. Obviously they can move, make some moves around the margins, but I would want to wait to see what it looks like first. Let me see what Kyrie, Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, let me see what all of that looks like first before I start to make moves. We'll see what happens with them. The Knicks need to make a move, do they? Kind of just relying on like for Mike Brown to say the reason why the defense was, I'm paraphrasing, but the reason why the defense hasn't been has been asked as of late is because we're missing Josh Hart. So if he's the one player that affects that, that's a problem. It's a problem.
Can't be your nucleus, man.
He can be the glue guy, but he can't be the nucleus. You know what I mean? And he's a great glue guy. Lakers, obviously, like we need defense. like there's no tomorrow. We need defense. And you got Keon Ellis out there from Sacramento. You have Trey Murphy, obviously. You have Herb Jones, obviously. Those are the two most coveted two-way players right now in the market. And it would behoove the Pelicans to demand some first rounders for those guys, being that you gave up your own first rounder to get their queen and a pick swap. So you have that. Obviously, the biggest domino right now, aside from Trae Young, is the whole Giannis thing. And however that goes, I think that's going to happen in the summer. I don't think that's going to happen mid-season. Cleveland needs to do something. Second April team, not in the top three in the West. In the East. Yeah. So there's a lot of
fluid. It's real fluid.
Yeah. And you kind of don't know where teams are or what they're thinking as much because it all depends about what's the best deal available right now, and it all depends. I do think though my sleeper is that shout out to Josh, but Michael Porter Jr. Somebody he can literally tip the scale. He's that type of player that can tip the scale of a contender right now. You put him on Detroit. Detroit's probably favorite coming out.
They get that shooting. They get that shooting. They need.
You put him.
What they did Monday night was unfair, man.
Yeah.
That was unfair, man. Oof.
You know what I'm saying? You put MPJ on the Lakers. It looks a little different. More spacing now. You can't double Luka, can't double LeBron, but you know what I mean? Like
defense is still gonna be ass, but still.
Yeah, but you'll be so efficient on offense.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be just insane, right? You put him with Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Like I think the Nets could really make some real capital here off because think about this. The West is not as like a foregone conclusion as everyone thinks. Yes, OKC is still the favorite. Absolutely.
And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to them.
By the way, they're losing to the Utah Jazz right now.
We're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, OKC is still the favorite. Absolutely. But you can't tell me the Rockets, the Nuggets, even the Lakers to some degree,
the Spurs.
Right? And the Spurs. Those are the top 4 teams outside of OKC, right?
Everybody has their flaws.
Everyone has their flaws, but like my thing is now those other 4 teams are looking at OKC and saying, "Wait, hold on, wait a minute.
They got a dent in the armor.
There's a chance here." So I think the Nets can capitalize off of that, so quote unquote desperation. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Remember, the Spurs beat the Thunder three times already.
Yeah.
Facts.
But I mean, I hate to be the one, to kind of dwell on regular season wins because obviously the playoffs is a different ball game, and Eric, I'm pretty sure you know that. Like, what was that?
Oh, yeah.
One year was it 2012 when y'all beat the Heat? Like every single time y'all met.
Go back to last year.
Yeah.
Got swept by the Celtics, and then
there was a whole different story in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So hate to dwell on that.
Pistons, last year, Pistons.
Yeah,
lost a 3-1 season series. They beat them in the playoffs. So
yeah,
regular season is because right now we're in the dog days of the NBA season. We just got off that whole schedule of the NBA Cup.
Yeah,
Christmas Day, New Year's. So that whole strange and plus the teams that were in the cup semifinals, they had to play right when they had to go back to when they came back from Vegas. They had to play back-to-backs or every other day, and then the back-to-back and every other day. And the schedule has not lightened up for those teams. That's why you seeing the Spurs, Thunder, Knicks, Magic. You see those teams stumble out of the gate during in that schedule. So, and it's like it's the dog days. Like I said, everyone's looking forward to All-Star break and the trade deadline. So this is where teams start struggle a little bit, and then by at the All-Star break, that's when they start gearing up for the playoffs. So you're gonna see that it happens every year. So
yeah. I mean, there's another team out there I think that can help other contenders and gain some capital outside of
the Pacers.
Yes, I think if you really want to shake something up, like see what you can get for Mathurin, see what you can get for what's his name?
Nembhard? No, not Nembhard.
No, not Nembhard. They're gonna keep Nembhard.
Yeah.
What's it, Walker?
Jarvis Walker.
Is that?
Yeah.
No, is that the one he has like the
locks?
No, or last name Jackson.
I know you're talking about.
Isaiah Jackson.
Yes, his name is Isaiah Jackson.
Is that his name? This is so embarrassing. But you can see what you can get for those two guys. But I think again, Brooklyn, Isaiah Jackson. I think Brooklyn can gain some draft capital out of these teams because they have a lot of like players that can help contenders right now. I'm very interested in the Hornets and their future because Khan
Knueppel, and Cole Brennan.
Yeah, Khan Knueppel, Cole Brennan, and Brandon Miller. With LaMelo. Now, with Khan, LaMelo, and Brandon Miller, like they've been like running teams off the floor. Like they've been like really, really good. And they're starting to gel, and it's looking very intriguing. And obviously there were talks about, them wanting to, there's rumblings or whispers about them wanting to get off LaMelo Ball. I don't know if they want to do that right now. They look really good together. And I think you kind of lean into that, and then you look elsewhere, like Miles Bridges, and you look to see what you can get for him.
Sorry, I'm just
Let's
watching
go, Jit.
the Jazz and the Thunder. Jazz Thunder. Laurie Marketing just hit a bucket. 3 seconds left. Jazz up 114, 112.
Thunder about to go down again.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the trade market.
But Shea got 30 though. It's all good.
But what about Utah? What about Utah?
That's another team that
Keontae
can.
George. Yeah.
Nah, Keontae staying, but Laurie can help a
Laurie
contender.
can
Now,
go.
what's so
Keontae's
crazy
a
is
shooter, bro.
Laurie could have been a warrior, but they didn't want to give up pots.
And look at them right now.
Let them dwell in their misery, man. Let them dwell on that.
This is the annual wishy-wash for the Warriors. They do this every single year. They're at 500 now, and then he's like, "Oh, how can you help Steph Curry? How can you help Draymond Green?" They did it to themselves, and on top of that, they're still keeping Jonathan Kuminga on the bench for what? Are you going to trade him? Are you going to play him? What are y'all guys doing?
Yeah,
you know Steve Kerr's not going to play him. So it's like, why is he wasting his time on the bench every single year?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're literally killing his value for what? On purpose. Like,
yeah.
Like,
so I mean, there's a ton of teams, a few teams in the league, as we mentioned, that can help some of these contending teams out. But speaking of contending teams. The team that's been ahead of the race the whole entire season thus far, seeing some dents in the armor, as we just mentioned, struggling against the Utah Jazz right now, lost to the Charlotte Hornets the other night. The Oklahoma City Thunder, what's going on with them? I feel like a couple weeks ago, we were saying that they were potential of having one of the best regular seasons, possibly could beat the 72-10 Bulls, possibly being the 73-9 Warriors. They was in the same conversation as those, We was talking about their legendary defense. And now, since that, I remember J-Dub had a little interview, and since then, it's been real shaky. So what's going on with the Thunder right now?
It's hard for me to automatically judge them and say like, oh, because
one thing I will say though,
there are nights when you lose to bad teams. It happens.
Right, and then especially on that
these are still professional players that they're playing.
Yes, and especially on that, the repeat is always harder to get in the first one.
Yeah, it's always now. Now you're from the hunter to the hunted.
Yes,
and this is also new territory for them that they've never experienced before. They're getting everyone's best shot every night now.
Yep.
Because now you were talking about we think we could get the Warriors record. That means you're telling the rest of the NBA, yeah, we finna dog walk y'all to get the best record in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I'm sure other teams are like, yeah, that shit not happening, bro. Plus it is, as Eric said earlier, the dog days of the season. Every team is getting up for you guys. You're not like if you're OKC, but you should. But I'm sure you're walking into Charlotte and being like, I'm sure we could beat these guys without executing like it's a playoff game. Same thing for Utah, but they're in a dogfight with Utah because again, these teams are gearing up to play against them because I think OKC needs just a reality check.
And I even think just based off the officiating, like a lot of guys has coming out and spoke about it, just like the Thunder's getting away with a lot of stuff that other teams won't get away with. So now they putting that in the light. Things been looking quite different. Like even though I just made a joke about Shea getting 30, it was kind of a struggle those past couple games. You know what I'm saying? Where he wasn't considered a lot to get that. So
yeah, and it's also we got to keep in mind Hartenstein, I believe, has been hurt.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
So that's a very important piece that they're missing. But again, it is an eye opener. Like I said, if I'm the other four teams in the West, the top four teams, I'm looking at them like, especially San Antonio. San Antonio already knows that they can beat them. They beat them 3 games straight, so they know. Like now, we haven't seen it in the playoff setting. That's a whole different ball game. But
they played them 2 more times.
Right, but you have these teams that are like they can be beat, and OKC just needs to not take this lightly because they can get got. Anyone can get got.
Yep.
Winning a championship is not just about how good you are. You have to have some luck in there too. And you don't want to be on the other side of that luck because it is a terrible feeling. When you hear a bang and it's against your team, it's terrible. It is terrible.
That damn Jamal Murray, man.
Oh my God, heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? So
where's AD fell into their bench?
Yo, that was even more embarrassing.
If I'm AD,
I was sick to my stomach, bro.
I just sat in silence, man.
I just sat there and looked at the screen, and I sat there until the game was pre-game, post-game, everything. I just sat there, and I was like, I'm in disbelief. Yeah, I was like, yo, deadass. That's when I accepted it. I'm like, we can't beat these guys, no matter what. I said we can have Kobe and Jordan on the roster, and we just can't beat them. We just can't. Yeah. So, but yeah, I just think OKC is just they're just in the dog days of the season now.
The schedule, though.
And here's the little caveat. OKC when they started, right? But even before that, when there was like 24-1, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah.
They had the strength of schedule. They had the easiest strength of schedule in the NBA up until the Cup. That's something to be said. That's all I'm saying. Something to be said.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned before, it's right now it's the dog days of the season, but their schedule for the rest of this month, they playing every other day, including home games with the Spurs, a road game against the Rockets. They still got to play Cleveland. They still got to play the Timberwolves. So their schedule's not lighting up. So
that's it. Yep.
That's through the rest of January, and also in February they still got to play the Nuggets. They still got to play the Spurs again and the Rockets, and that's before and the Lakers. That's right before All-Star break. So they're gonna get tested throughout the until All-Star break. So, and plus, like, hey, everyone's gunning for you. They're gunning for them. This is not 2 years ago. This is not last year. I mean, so they're gonna have to bring that championship DNA and get experience because these teams are really gonna start in the gun for them. So SGA, the MVP. Come on now, Lou Dort.
I mean, right now he's by default. Obviously, they have the best record and all that. He would be the MVP, but
there's a team in Detroit.
I think there's two teams in the East that have two players that are deserving to be in the top voting. And obviously biased, Luka need to be up there. You know what I'm saying? Because no one had the Lakers as a top team in the West, and we are. We're the third seed in the West. But everyone wants to talk about defense, and they're going to penalize him for it. So whatever.
Yeah, statistically, like
but when you get averaging,
I get what you're saying.
35, bro.
I seen a stat the other day. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but God damn, what is the stat? Get back to me on that. Get back to me on that because I seen the top 4 teams in the West. And is it the point differential?
Yeah, so the Lakers have a neutral, a zero. We've allowed I think 133.8 points, and then we also scored 100. I'm like, damn, we're just giving buckets and giving up buckets. Like it's just like,
and it still be like a top team in the West Conference.
It's crazy, but also the Lakers. The Lakers are undefeated in the clutch. They have the best net rating in defense in the clutch, and I think the third best offense in the clutch. And they're 12-0 in the clutch. So like when it comes down to it, if you're in the clutch situation, you have And this is why, like the LeBron and Luka thing work. They're two supercomputers on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
You have those two guys in the clutch. It's going to be hard to beat those guys.
Yeah.
But I digress. I do think Luka is deserving of consideration, but more so than Luka, Jaylen Brown and Kay Cunningham deserve consideration for MVP.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown is doing more with less.
Yeah.
Everyone predicted, as I did. I called that roster stink. I said that roster booty.
And Josh.
Yes. Yes.
Josh.
I said that roster stinks, and Jaylen Brown's gonna like get his, but that team is gonna be terrible. They're gonna be a playing team.
Yeah.
They are the second or third because they lost, so they're the third best team in the East right now, and no one expected that. And it's gonna get real spooky if Jason Tatum comes back for the East. Then you have Detroit. They've been running away with the number one seed so far. You know,
nobody expected that.
Nobody expected
that.
Detroit, Kay Cunningham's been out, I think, the last 4 games, and Detroit's been 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Stewart just tonight put up 31 points. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
He played Monday. He played Monday.
Oh, no, he did play Monday. Sorry, yes, he did play Monday. But they've been 4-0 without Kate as a whole throughout the year. And there's something brewing there. And I pray to God I pray to God they don't get MPJ. I pray to God they don't get Michael Porter Jr. Because I'm telling you right now, the East is in trouble if they get Michael Porter Jr. with Kay Cunningham and those two bigs that they have in Isaiah and Jalen Duren.
And their bench is like they got 6'7" wings coming off the bench. It's like they got Dennis Jenkins dropping threes. Yeah, Javante Green. Who else? Jeez.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson coming off the bench.
Duncan Robinson. You know, and then like a Saw starting to look.
I saw Thompson, like that guy. Yeesh. Yeah. So
Detroit,
man.
Low key is how Detroit is like looking like OKC in a sense, in that like growth period. Like they took the Knicks to 7, if I'm not mistaken, right?
6
games, but that was it was like the smallest margin of
Look, just the overall the last 3 years for the Pistons has been weird because
they went a 20-game losing streak.
26,
27,
28. That's insane. That Cade dealt with all of that.
But what kudos to Cade, because Cade had said about that during that time. They interviewed him about just the streak and the losses, and he was like, "Yo, this is not a representation of who we are as players." He said, "I know there's talent on this team. We just have to figure out and put it together." All it took was the coach.
Yep.
Yeah, the coach didn't want to be there. Basically,
not only did he want to be there, but
he took the money.
Not only that, but Monty Williams is not a. If you look at JB, and the difference in conversation is 4-letter words consistently, calling you that at practice, it's a different way of coaching and how to get through the players. Detroit's a rugged type of team. Those are dogs over there. Kind of need a coach that kind of resembles
and plus
that.
Also on top of that, it couldn't get much. It could not.
Get much. I mean, that was rock bottom. That was rock bottom.
That's as low as you can go.
That's as low as you can go. You feel me? That's like saying, that's like Jackson Hayes was your starting center. Now we got DeAndre Ayton. I'm cool with that.
See that picture where it's like the side by side. It's the guy he's standing up close.
Yeah.
And then in the next picture, he moved back a little bit. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you said, Armand. They couldn't get no worse than that. But man, Detroit has been very impressive. And I do think it's still up in the air, right? Like we got to see it in the playoffs. We just have to see it in the playoffs. Like it looks good now during the regular season, a la Cleveland, a la Utah. Like it looks good during the regular season, but in the playoffs, we got to see those other guys show up. We know Kay's going to show up. We've seen it last year. right? Like now, can Jalen Duran, the leap he's taken this year, can he sustain that in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? So those are the things we have to see. And those bench guys who are getting after it, like when the lights are the brightest, we got to see what you got.
I think what it is, we're just not accustomed to seeing the it's like no disrespect to the Pistons, but we're just it's kind of weird and tough to get accustomed to a new team at the top of the conference, and it was like that for the Thunder last year. We was like, all right, yeah, they're good, but like they still don't have enough to beat Denver. They still don't have enough to beat the Timberwolves. Remember, they got bounced against the Dallas Mavericks in 2024. So if the Pistons can somewhat sustain some consistency throughout the rest of the season and just see how they go up against the other big time teams in the league, that would give us a definitive answer on if they can withstand and how can they perform in the playoffs. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I got my eye on them real closely.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah. After that butt whooping they literally just did on us on Monday night. Yeah, so I'm impressed with what they've done so far in the regular season. Now you're hearing rumblings about, hey, K should be in the running for MVP. He should be running for a start as All-Star. The comparisons of him and Brunson and Jaylen Brown, this and that, and that's a top point guard in the league. So
I think, since we're kind of on the topic of just All-Stars, I think Cade does get the nod over Jalen Brunson. Not Jalen Brunson, sorry, Jaylen Brown. I was reading something the other day, and it actually makes a lot of sense. And especially it comes down to the whole player of the month conversation that we had in the chat between Brunson and Jaylen Brown. Even though statistically Jaylen Brown had a better December than Brunson. Brunson was the one who won the player of the month. But at the end of the day, Nike is the biggest sponsor of the NBA. Nike is the biggest sponsor of the NBA.
Now you speaking my language. You see it.
Nike is the biggest sponsor of the NBA. So you look back at the overall history of Jaylen Brown and Team USA. You look at that. You look at the All-Star.
But here's the thing too. Who just signed a Nike shoe deal?
Cade
Cunningham. If you don't think he's not getting into the All-Star as a starter,
yeah.
Especially after it's not like he's like having a subpar year. Like he's in
the MVP conversation, and he's and he's been in the MVP conversation for like the whole entire season. Jaylen Brown just joined the conversation like last month. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting how it'll all unfold. Yeah, man.
And also the second fan returns was released yesterday. So we can discuss that. So the leading vote getter among the fans, not surprisingly, Luka Doncic with over 2.2 million votes. Giannis with 2.1 votes, 2.1 million votes.
He don't even know what he want to do, man.
And then you got Jokic at 1.99, Brunson with 1.91, and then you got Maxey 1.908, Steph Curry 1.844, Cade Cunningham 1.725. Then you got SGA 1.55, Donovan Mitchell 1.53, and then Jaylen Brown 1.54. And then Victor 1.32, Anthony Edwards 1.24, Denny Avdia 1.224, and then LeBron James at 1.05.
That's top 10.
That's your top. That's the players in the 1 million votes.
So KD doesn't even have 1 million votes.
He has 997.
He's right there.
Yo, what?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
and then after that is Carl Anthony Towns with 989, and then Alperen Şengün with 871.
what I'm interested in is that, like, obviously this new format is gonna, it's like the world versus America.
I think some of these
There's not
international guys get
there's
in by
but
default.
like there's not enough.
No,
There's not enough.
Not enough.
Like, like
Not enough
enough.
spots.
there's not enough.
Not enough. Yeah.
Too many. Like there's not that many European stars. Like think about it. It's not, so y'all really about to do some BS. That's what's gonna piss me off.
That's why, and that's what I said about like them trying to
OG on the
construct a
world
team.
team. Like what?
Right. It's gonna be like last year how like Charles Barkley, right? He had the world. Because he drafted all international players, and then Donovan Mitchell. Like what? What?
Yeah, I don't think they thought about this construction of how they want this All-Star game to go. So yeah, it sounds good, but like when you think about it, like potential guys who gets nominated All-Star every single year may not make it because you have an international talent, even though he's sitting low in votes, can still get it because technically a place on that team is reserved for him. You feel me? Yeah.
It's crazy. Like we're gonna see Sviv Mikhailov be an All-Star.
Start as a Laker, man. You know what they say. They always play good when they lead the Lakers, man.
Like, you know, so it's gonna be crazy to see, but you know, like we'll see what happens, and I'm sure it'll be entertaining. I'm curious to how it all unfolds with LeBron probably not being a starter for the first time ever in his career. You know, and KD, the same thing. KD not being a starter either. You know, like I'm sure they'll be in the All-Star game, but I don't think they're starting, which is weird.
I can't say the name, you know, but as Josh would say, the Bronze Soldiers. Y'all not showing up. Touch your hood. Y'all not showing up. Look, for me, honestly, I stopped voting on the All-Star game a long time ago.
I stopped voting on
a long time. Like, even though we made joke and talk about that, like, you know, I stopped going on the NBA app and NBA.com and placing my votes a long time ago. Some guys are just gonna make it. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know, so like, even though you put that thought process that LeBron may not be a starter, I am not worried about that. I'm not worried. I think he will be, man.
LeBron didn't play last year.
Yeah. And you know what? Now that you bring that up, especially a lot of people felt that, you know, a certain individual in Norman Powell was robbed of that moment. So they may want to think twice when you know, thinking about voting LeBron as a starter this year.
No disrespect to Norman Powell, but
hey, the NBA All-Star game has a lot to bounce back from last year. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So I think as an NBA viewer, you know, and for the viewers watching at home, y'all might want to think twice about who y'all vote for. Even though that may be your favorite player, think about the type of product you're going to get. So think about that.
And it's in LA? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Where they playing trees and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know?
Listen, Steve Ball trying to recoup.
Before we end the show, don't you think that's funny? How like it's just like under the rug now, like it's just like gone.
Yeah,
yo, like what?
Like, Kawhi started balling and everything was forgiven. I'm a clock in now. I'm a clock in. No problem. I'm gonna show up to work.
I haven't seen Sun lock this since 2019. That's a fact,
though. Yo, he had 2 6 months of vacation a year. He had 2 6-month vacations a year since 2019, and was like, all right, I'm back. What I missed?
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy how I just like kind of slept under the rug, and then like Kawhi's been playing out of his mind. So, but it's good to see Kawhi back though. Honestly, like It's good to see him back on the floor. You know, it may not mean much because the Clippers are not going anywhere, but it's good to see. They're not going anywhere. I don't know where you know.
Me and Josh were so wrong, man. God.
What's funny, chat? Like they in our group chat, they kept saying like, "Be patient, be patient, be patient." They losing to like I'm talking. They're getting their ass whooped by the Grizzlies, by the Jazz, by all these teams, and he like, "Be patient." I'm like, all right.
It's like I don't even fear Kawhi anymore, yo.
Yeah. And what's crazy? See, people started to. Well, really, I don't know what it was, but like maybe enough people were complaining, like, "Yo, the Clippers, y'all can't be this ass because guess what? Your pick is going to OKC. So please do something. Help us, please do something."
They love to see world domination, man. Some people just like to sit back and watch the world burn. You feel me? So
because at any moment, Sam Preston could press that button. I got all these picks. I got this. He could press that button and get anybody.
Yep.
You know, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great second half of the season as we approach that and the All-Star break, and the trade deadline. I'm sure, 90% sure, we're going to see some more trades on the pipe very soon. I mean, I don't think it'll be as big as like Trae Young, you know, on that caliber level, but you never know. I mean, shit, like it was a regular night. We were celebrating. We were celebrating the Lakers beating the Knicks and making Towns. I'm like, JJ Redick had Towns looking like Rudy Gobert. We were celebrating. Everything looked great. LeBron was you know what I mean? AD had a great game. And then
2 hours later,
I said, "Yo, hold on,
yo, it was fake, man." Man,
I saw it was fake.
Yeah,
we all did.
Matter of fact, sorry, AD didn't even play that game. AD was injured.
No, he did.
Because he got injured in the game before against Philly.
Mm-hmm.
He had the adductor strain. You know what I'm saying? That's when JJ threw Bronny out there. He got torched by
Maxey.
Yeah, he got torched by Maxey. I thought it was like, oh, this is all gloom and doom. I said, oh man, this is bad. This is real bad.
He said, throw the damn towel. Throw the damn towel.
You know, so
yeah,
anything can happen. Anything can happen. But for now, I do see some moves happening down the line. Obviously, Kuminga is a name to watch. Chicago, look out for Kobe White. I think that's a name to watch too, very closely. He is a free agent this offseason. I don't think Chicago wants to pay him any money or give him an extension, rather. So we'll see. Sacramento, obviously, you have DeMar DeRozan, you have Zach LaVine, you have Sabonis. They have to figure out. They are the worst team in the West. They have the worst offensive rating in the West. They have the worst offense in the league. I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. So, but all in all, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a great pleasure to be back. Obviously, Eric and myself have been away. We had sadful death in our family. Our father had passed away from cancer. So we've just been taking some time just to spend time with each other, with the family, and just be there for one another through this trying time. So, but he will want us to keep going and pushing forward. So that's what we're doing. As much as it hurts and as much as that it just feels weird, life has to go on somehow, some way. You got to push through. So continue to take care of yourselves, take care of your mental, love on your family, appreciate the time that you do have because you don't know when it's time for you to go. And if all else, watch some damn basketball. Peace. Hello.